Thanos has hands. The man has hands. He was putting major work on a lot of people, but at the end of the day, you still caught that work.
I am Iron Man. It bookends the trilogy. I guess the whole saga, because we started off with Iron Man.
Yeah.
How many years ago? Like about 10, 11 years ago.
Started and ended with Iron Man.
In the end of Iron Man 1, Tony Stark says, I am Iron Man.
Yep.
And when he vanishes Thanos and his minions, he ends with, I am Iron Man.
Yep.
I think what we saw was a film studio doing, I think, as good as a job as you can possibly can to wrap up so many stories.
Yeah.
Into one final extravaganza. And it was a 3-minute 2 runtime, but I know for me, it didn't necessarily feel like 3 hours to me.
Oh, no, it didn't.
It felt closer to 2 hours and maybe like 20 minutes, 2 hours, 15 minutes. But the pace, it maintained a steady pace throughout. And the arcs that they built throughout this whole timeline have made some interesting characters who we've grown with and who we've grown attached to. And I have to say, man, I enjoy watching it. Even if I don't think even though it's still not my favorite Marvel movie ever, I still, Black Panther's my favorite Marvel movie.
Oh yeah, that shit hit.
But Endgame is, I didn't leave wanting more. I think it gave you it was appropriate closure. And the acting performances were outstanding, and it deservedly should have it ended how it should, with Iron Man and Captain America's arcs wrapping up.
Yeah, without a doubt. I got to give prop to the Russo brothers too, though, because like not just how they were able to intertwine stuff from other works they've done. Because if you notice, there was 2 cameos from people that were in Community, the show that were, Community was directed by the Russo brothers, but every time it was like a callback. I'm like, they had to sit down and like really watch all of those movies to really like pull all that stuff together, because you had stuff like, I mean, just to name a few, you had Cap finally get his last dance, when that was how he ended, the original Captain America. He was talking about the dance, so they kind of ended up pulling all the way back to the dance. When Falcon showed up at the end, and he told Cap, on your left, that's actually a pull from what was that? I can't remember. What was that original Captain America? It was one of them when he kept lapping Falcon when they were running, and Cap kept telling him, on your left, and he kept running around him.
That was Winter Soldier.
Yeah, Winter Soldier. There we go. So they pulled from that, because that's where that came from. And then you had what was it? It was a good one. Try to think of it. It was
You know what a really good one was? The kid. They even brought back the kid from Part 3.
Oh yeah, the kid had grown up. Yeah, that was a good one too. In fact, that reminded me of the other one I was thinking about, when he was sitting on the porch at the end talking to Tony's daughter, and she asked for cheeseburgers.
Cheeseburgers,
that's actually a pull from the first Iron Man, when he was like, I just want an American cheeseburger. But it's like a whole bunch of them. Like, that's just a handful of the many that it was. But they pulled various sections from pretty much every Marvel movie they've done so far. And that's what, 22 movies?
22 movies.
22 movies, man. And you tie in 22 movies. Like, that's just crazy. But
yeah,
they made it into one of the most epic battles of all times.
And I gotta admit, I think with all the with all the callbacks they've had, I think that's what led to, the emotional, I guess, resonance that the audience had, and I know I had as well, watching them pretty much send off Iron Man and all the people there, because all it is it's like when the school year ends, you go through and replay everything back, all the good memories.
Yeah. Well, I
And
mean,
you did grow with these people.
exactly, and that's what I think of. It's like you've kind of been building up to this moment over the course of 11 years and 22 movies. You've been building up to this moment, which is this movie. That's a long time. That's
Very
a
long time.
lot of movies. And it all came down to that. And they were actually able to tie it all together. And they spared no expense. I mean, you had Potts in there doing her thing in her suit. You had probably one of the most epic all women scene of all movies.
Mm-hmm.
And we also learned that Captain Marvel can take a headbutt like nobody's business. I mean, there's a lot of headbutts, but if you can take a headbutt off Thanos and not even be fazed by it, I want no parts of that.
I think it was the bob. I think the bob haircut. She ate that shit and just stared right at him. You have somebody in the face next to you looking at you
like it was nothing.
Yeah, like I think you got it.
Yeah, man. I was upset we lost Scarlett, man. We lost Scarlett Johansson, man. I was upset about that.
Why are you upset that you lost Scarlett Johansson?
Mean, obviously, because I want to keep seeing her in movies, and I won't be able to see her in Marvel movies no more. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Oh, it was an epic loss of a superhero." She had no powers. She was just, able to kick a lot of ass. But I mean, also that's another character that you've seen around, and she was the character that you saw take the lead after everybody had basically died, vanished, or otherwise was missing. And she kind of, she pulled a lot of people into it. So it was kind of, I mean, it was major to see her go because she had to go and recruit Bruce Banner. She was always attached to Hawkeye.
Hawkeye should have blazed that shit.
He should have. I'm surprised that they didn't tie all that together instead of giving him a family. But anyway.
I mean, I like Ronan way better than I like Hawkeye though. So the Ronan version of Clint.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, Ronan was a beast. He was the one we should have seen all movies. Ronan was no joke.
I like the style.
But yeah, I mean that's three big people though that's been pretty much around the entire time that you don't see no more. I mean, you used to always see Tony Stark making cameos in pretty much every Marvel movie for the purpose of Stark Industries and the Avengers and just for continuity purposes. So just to have him go, it's like that's enormous. And honestly, like I don't just care for War Machine that much. So
nobody does.
like I don't really want to see another Iron Man or anybody else try to take that on. Like I don't really care for War Machine. So man,
so they're handing the keys over to Spider-Man, Black Panther, Guardians, and Captain Marvel. So as you can see especially in the case of Spider-Man, where it pretty much was like a passing of the torch type of deal. And I know in my theater, he probably had the largest cheer when he came back through the portal.
Well, I mean, that was because he went out like the biggest bitch, though.
He's a child. He's a kid. Why? Don't. I was like, come on.
I mean, I feel you, but at the same time, like,
don't forget, he did hold like a fucking Freightliner together with his webbing. I don't know if you've seen Homecoming or not.
I mean, I did, but there's a part of that scene that has to be accounted for. Tony came in and saved him.
He's a child.
So, but I mean that's my point right there. Like with how he went out, they made it such an emotional ordeal between him and Tony that he was automatically going to have a huge cheer when he came back.
Plus, people love the Spider-Man character.
Yeah,
they always have. That's why there's been so many fucking iterations of the Spider-Man.
But yeah, he surely is gonna. I mean, he's gonna make his money. That's the only other Marvel movie coming out this year.
They got the young one. Yeah, there's gonna be another Black Panther because there's no way you're letting that franchise go away after the numbers it made, and not to mention it was fucking Oscar nominated.
Yeah, I mean they're already making that one though, aren't?
Yes, Guardians could come back with Thor, which I think the only reason that we're probably looking further away is because the director got fired and then got rehired again. So. we'll see if that Doctor Strange is coming back. So we'll see where Marvel heads next. Like all I know is they've earned the benefit of the doubt with me. So
yeah, without
like I didn't like Captain Marvel too much. I saw that in the theater, and I wasn't a big fan of that. But
no,
like I said, Marvel has a lot of capital with me, so I'll give them chances.
I mean, it really depends on where they go with Captain Marvel, because I mean, we had this conversation previously. Now that you have her in the mix, and Thanos is basically gone, to really be able to compete with somebody of her magnitude, villain wise, like you got to start bringing people in that are just
stronger than her, though.
That are absolutely ridiculous. I mean, just off the charts, ridiculous. So I'm really trying to see where they go with it. You got Nick Fury back. I want to see what they do with my boy Thor, because I love Thor. Like,
I love Thor.
Thor,
That's my man.
I fucks with Thor. Like,
that's my man.
If anybody, I would say so far has been like one of my favorite characters. I got to give it up to Thor. Granted, I loved Iron Man too, but like Thor was always that dude who, until Captain Marvel came along, like he had that magnitude of power. It was like between Thor and Hulk, really, when it came down to just being off the chart strong.
Yeah,
but,
and Thor's still powerful too.
Yeah, even with the gut. Even with the gut.
Drinking Thor might be my favorite Thor.
I have to agree with that. I don't know.
Ragnarok Thor is fun too. The short hair of Thor.
I like Ragnarok Thor, but I think I think both of my favorite Thors were in this movie, and it would be between the Thor that chopped off Thanos' head.
That's depressed fucking Drake listening Thor, though.
Yeah, but you could tell he was just walking around looking like he wanted to kill some shit. Like, I saw the perfect meme on that. Somebody had took the shot of him where he was sitting outside in the hoodie, and somebody was like, man, look like he about to go get ready for a rap battle. Because he was so stolid and serious and just so, like, devastated because, I mean, you know, like our good buddy the raccoon summed it up. Like, he fucked up.
Failed.
He failed. He really did. If he would have aimed from the head from the jump, it would have been a different outcome. So, I mean, well, you got that kind of weight on your shoulders, and then you finally pull off what you wanted to, but it didn't make, you know, any real difference at the time. So then you go into depressed, got a big gut Thor.
I do like the Thor with both the hammer and the axe.
Oh yeah. Now when that happened,
that shit was hard.
That shit was hard. I even said it was hard when Captain America had the hammer. I'm also
that
glad
shit was super hard.
I'm still kind of glad that, you know, Captain America left after that. I didn't like the fact that, you know, he like traveled back in time, and when he traveled back in time, he took the hammer with him.
But you know the hammer doesn't go anywhere, so the hammer will come back. Just like, we don't know what happened to the hammer, but we also didn't see what happened to Thor afterwards, so he could probably got the shit back.
I mean, true enough. All I know is he went back in time with the hammer.
Nigga, you ain't keeping the hammer if you go back for a date.
And he came back with the shield, but not the hammer. I'm upset about that.
You gotta remember, he was a virgin all the way till he went back.
No, that's true.
So like, I ain't thinking about no motherfucking hammer. I go back. That's why he got to go back so much, because I got to go back 1947. Them cheeks are fucking nice and marinated like fucking a malt milkshake.
Oh man, that is funny too, because it was even funny when the old Captain America was like, I don't think I will.
I could do this all day.
You gonna tell me about this? I don't think I will. Oh, that was funny too. That was funny too. I could do this all day. I know. Yes,
and the old guy's like, yeah, I don't think I will talk to you about it. I can dig it. I love how they ended both of their stories, because I thought for sure Captain America was going to be the one that died.
Ah man, I was honestly kind of hoping he was the one that died.
I know.
I mean, I would rather see Tony walk away with his wife and his daughter and just choose like not to be an Avenger again, to kill him though.
But you had after a while, I saw it coming with like all the story with the daughter, and all that
Oh
stuff.
yeah, they foreshadowed it a shit
They're
ton in the
preparing
beginning.
But I think they were preparing you too.